So just like a musician can compose a song, we compose our life through who we decide to be. So when it comes to making money or developing business, the people who have the greatest belief in their uniqueness, those are the ones who rise to the top because they recognize their personal value. People are in stuck places in their life and they don't know how to move from one space to the other. Yeah. And that requires not movement, but it requires transformation.
So how do you do that transformation?
Well, I use music as a strategy to help people to transform. Music is our strongest language because it bypasses the brain. Each note on the major music scale has a frequency that communicates with your body that's relative to different glands in your body.
Really?
And so what happens is as you're hearing these different frequencies, it's impacting the heart, it's impacting your pancreas, it's impacting gonads, it's impacting your thyroid. Any of your glands that are in your body is affected by what comes in, and then there's a release. So every gland releases a hormone. That's why it's called an endocrine system. And the hormonal release and how you release those hormones, then subsequently how you mix those hormones is what determines your future.
Wow. I'm just so amazed by this idea. What is the real power of music then in our lives?
The real power of music is opportunity. Because...
Okay, guys, she's gonna get a little nerdy here, but stick with me because at the end, it all makes sense. I promise. Just stick with me. This is really valuable interview right here. Oh, and there's also a part 2. And if you haven't seen that, you definitely want to see that one. Maybe even more than this one, but you got to see this one first.
Because with the, there's a total of 8 notes on the major scale, but 12 notes in music at all. So once you get to the point of 12, that's why there's 12 disciples, 12 gates to the sanctuary, 12 foundations to the city, 12 tribes of Israel. Once you get to 12, you have the opportunity to move into the concept of infinity, or perpetual progression.
And once you get to 12.
So 12 leads you, like when you multiply 12 times 12, you get 144. So most people think that number is counting in number of people, but 144 is a principle, and it's really a principle of infinity. And so once you get to the amount of mixes that you can do with that many frequencies, then you're unlimited in what you can put together. So for example, a Mozart or a Beethoven or a Chopin or even me, we can put down a musical display or something that comes to us and it'll never cross paths with what somebody else developed.
It's like your unique expression.
Right, a unique expression. So that's what 144 is. Thank you for using that phrase, because each of us are a unique expression in the earth. And it's meant for us to take our unique expression and express it outside of ourselves. So just like a musician can compose a song, we compose our life through who we decide to be. So once you decide to be something, that becomes an energetic mix in your body. Your body reads that and hormones start to flow based on what you decide you want for your future. And that flow of hormones is unique to you as your fingerprint. It's for you to take your ideas and your imaginations to express them because it is unique. And it is your uniqueness that people can use. So when it comes to making money or developing business, you have a Burger King, you have a McDonald's, you have a Wendy's. Oh, it's just the same thing as other. No, they're all unique. And the people who have the greatest belief in their uniqueness, those are the ones who rise to the top because they recognize their personal value.
I want to ask you 2 simple questions. 1, do you recognize your personal value? Do you know how important that is? I guess it's 3 questions. The third one is, if you don't recognize your personal value, how could you? What would it take? What would you need? Ponder on that.
So music, from a musician, they can take a piano and compose a very unique song. Mm-hmm. Your body, literally at every stage of your glands, matches the music scale. And so when you create a unique vision or unique future, that is a musical It has a musical connotation to it. And so it's for you to play what's inside you, outside you. So everybody's a musician, they just don't know it.
Life is music.
Right, life is music. Everything is sound. If you break down that tree, break down what's in the grass, break down even what's in this concrete, it's still all frequency and vibration. Yeah, so everything is music, everything is energy.
And all music is frequency, and frequency can be measured. So it's essentially numbers.
Right, exactly. That's so they talked about faith in the conference. Faith is not what you believe, faith is what you measure.
Oh.
See what I'm saying? Because we think we can't accomplish something, but all you have to do is calculate it out. And then it's there. So it's what I call creating future memory. That's our gift, to see something that other people can't see, and then make it happen. That's why it says faith is a substance. Faith is already something. Faith is not something to be. And so when you realize who you are, that's the faith of your future.
When you realize who you are, that's the faith of your future.
Your future becomes guaranteed. The only way your future is not guaranteed is when you listen to everybody else. And then you're on all these multiplicity of paths. Even the pastor will take you in a different direction because you believe in what he says about you and not what you think about yourself.
The power is what I'm getting. The power comes from truly understanding yourself, accepting yourself, and being convicted in that.
Right. So let's take that word power. So power in physics is literally what moves something. That's the basis of creation, is movement of energies. And some people are good at moving energies, like a Jeff Bezos. You know, they see a thing and then they make it happen. Not everybody does that because they don't value what they see.
How do you begin to recognize your personal value? By valuing what you see. You have a particular dream, a vision. It might not be a goal, it might be a wish or a hope, and you just haven't seen it as real or valuable. If you valued it and saw it as valuable enough, you would take action on that. I think the best question to ask is, what can you do to show you value what you see today? I'm asking you to pause the video and write that question down right now. Don't wait, just do it, please. You'll thank me later.
So now let's look at literal power. So once you learn to sufficiently value what you see in yourself, in your imagination, because your imagination is your greatest gift, that is what makes you, it is also what makes you equal to God. So nobody wants to fool with that, even though Jesus says, apostles, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who thought it not robbery to be equal to God. Jesus knew his value, and he didn't have to get that value from what other people had to say about him, right? So now, so you respect you. So I always tell people, you got to respect what you see. If you have an aha moment, a dream, an idea, inevitably when you stop because of what somebody else says, what somebody else, their observation, and now you're not moving forward, inevitably you'll still see that idea in the earth. And you're mad at yourself because you said, I came up with that. And then whoever moved on it is now worth 100 million. But you knew, you saw that, you just didn't move on it. That person did. So now here's what happens when you have that value. So once you have that value, there's a second thing that has to happen, and this is key. Then you have to have somebody to connect with that value. That means they see that value in you. That value now becomes locked in and becomes an energy matrix. And this is not philosophical, it's not spiritual, there's little hormones that move from your pineal gland to your pituitary gland, all the way down to your adrenal gland, that kicks back up into your heart thyroid. So that's a feedback. That's your body agreeing with itself. Then you have adrenaline that moves from the adrenal gland, goes into the blood, and there are things in your blood called glycans. And those glycans calculate your value. So your blood now says what you say for yourself, right? That's why the Bible says life is in the blood. And so now, once that is established in the blood, then the energy matrix of that begins to speak outside of you. You're not saying a word, but your body's talking. And your body is a great communicator with the rest of the world. Just to make it plain. So you got yourself, you got your cell phone signal. Your cell phone signal travels through satellite towers the entire length of the earth, circular circumference of the earth, right? And we know that's a fact. So I can pick up my phone, call somebody. My sister's in Italy. I pick up my phone and call my sister, she will pick up. My voice is here, and my voice is in Italy at the same time. So we understand that. That's the power of the frequencies that come out of your body, because it starts to communicate with every like frequency that is equivalent to you. This is why some people go, oh, they got good luck. There are people who can walk in a room and everything works for them. Why? Because they got to the room before they got to the room. Does that make sense? Their frequency is in that room, preparing a place. That's what heavenly power is about, a prepared place. Your frequency is in this room, preparing a place. It's in a room all the way in Tampa, preparing a place. So when you get there, the place is ready for you. But if you don't value that, you see what I'm saying? Your energy doesn't travel anywhere, right? And then you're just in the struggle of listening to what other people do. And now your talent, your gifts, your efforts all supply somebody else's vision and somebody else's dream.
That's what they mean when they say your energy precedes you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. But we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Right. We don't know that from a church perspective. We don't learn it in school. And this is science. Like I said, that's the power, because it's real science. So we understand the science of plugging in a toaster to connect with the electricity so the mechanisms in the toaster work. You know what I'm saying? But we need to know how to establish our value. We become that. Then we plug in. Then our energy starts to speak to us to create what we have here.
This is why you can write 8 books on music and sound.
Right, exactly. Because that's the power. That's the energy. And it's not no fake energy. It's not no spiritual energy that you're waiting on. You know, people go to this, wait on God. No, God's waiting on you because he created your body to be this. So he's never going to do it for you. So people have been in church waiting years for God to move. God's been waiting for us to move.
Okay. Lastly, this is amazing. I got to get your book.
Okay.
I got to get it. What is the most practical first step that somebody can do to take advantage of this and begin applying to, I want to personally develop, I want to move towards achieving this goal?
So the practical first step is...
What'd you think? Was I right? I'm hoping y'all enjoyed the episode, because I definitely did. You know what's next. You have to watch part 2. I'm only gonna give you one option. Now he's about to get into really applying it. The most important part. Click here to watch part 2 of my interview with Dr. Milton Howard Jr.